All right, all right, all right. Hi, everybody. It is Kendell Lenice, and welcome to the Weekly Voice with me, Kendell Lenice. It's time to unpack this week. Let's unpack, this week. Let me make sure I'm up and let people know. Send them a hootie hoo. Let them know that I am here and we are getting started. I hope everyone had an amazing week. I really hope you did. So many tragic things have been happening this year or this week, not even this year already, but also this week. So let everybody know I'm here. All right. This is the second episode of the Weekly Voice with Kendell Lenice, where I unpack the week. All right, let's get right into it. I just want to pray for everybody who lost someone this week. The nameless, the faceless. If you lost somebody this week, you are in my deepest thoughts and prayers. Now, we're going to start the show off kind of solemn, but that's not where we're going to stay today. But I have to acknowledge, as a woman, as a life coach, as a mom, I have to acknowledge the suicides of Chesley, Chris. We talked about Ian Alexander last week, which was Regina King's son. But then also, I want to make sure I get the names correct. Also, Moses Mobley, actor, 31 years old. So then you have Chesley Chris, who was former Miss USA, and I follow her on TikTok. And y'all, that really hit me hard because I follow her on TikTok and I would see her all the time coming past my feed. And I'm like, boy, she's gorgeous. You know, she's smart. She was a lawyer. She was a correspondent on Extra. And I was just like, wow, this young lady has it together. So when I was also scrolling on Instagram, which I rarely do, I post, but I don't scroll on Instagram. And when I was on Instagram, I was like, well, now what now? And I showed it to my daughter. I was like, what? She was like, you know who she is? I was like, yeah, I follow her. I just saw some of her posts and they said that she jumped to her death in a New York apartment. So people have spotted her on the 29th floor. They said she lived on the 9th floor, but they saw her on the 29th floor. So they're suspecting that she jumped from there. And her mom came out to confirm what she thought. And you just never know what's behind the smile, right? You never know how someone is hurting and how it's affecting them. And I posted something about the three young people, all 31, 30, and 26 years old. And the floodgates opened. Everybody was on my TikTok like, you know, nobody cares. Everyone said, ask how you doing, but they really don't care. People tell you to suck it up. People say you got so much to be happy for. They talk them out of their feelings. And as a life coach, that's not what you do to people. You don't talk them out their feelings. But that's what they were doing. So I just want to extend prayers to the families of these young people that we know by face or know by name, but also the nameless people that we don't know. People are committing suicide and it's not okay. It doesn't sit right in my soul. And I just pray for healing. That's why I do what I do. I'm about healing us, especially the Black community. So my prayers and thoughts go to the families of these young people committing suicide and the older people committing suicide. All right, let's switch gears a bit and talk about Janet Jackson. So her documentary came out, right? Everybody was excited. Everybody was anticipating this documentary coming out. Janet Jackson, what is she going to talk about? Is she going to talk about the baby that she supposedly had with James DeBarge that everybody been talking about? It's been a myth. It's been an old wives' tale. It's been, a story in the Black community forever that she and James DeBarge had a baby, and Rebe Jackson, her older sister of 16 years, raised it. Rebe was like, where the baby? I ain't raised no baby. Where the baby at? And Janet was like, I would never keep a baby from their father. And people were like, wait a minute, but you didn't say that at one point you weren't pregnant, or you was. And Debbie Allen was like, she was on Fame. I ain't never seen her pregnant. And Janet was like, she emotionally ate, so she was gaining weight, but she was not pregnant. People still ain't believing that. Just like they ain't believing that Justin Timberlake ain't sorry. So the documentary that came out this week, they're like, nope. We don't believe and we don't buy Justin Timberlake, and we ain't forgiving him. And he planned that, and he didn't catch what Janet Jackson caught. So I don't care, Janet, if you like, we're cool, forgive him. The Black community, and I think the Shade Room or the Jasmine brand put out a collective string of tweets and posts where Black folks was like, nope, we don't care about Justin Timberlake any longer. She also talked in the documentary about, well, I should say Regina King, and other people were like, yep, her and Tupac had some chemistry going on Poetic Justice, but she was married to Renee, and we're going to leave it at that. And we're going to leave it at that. So they said, but then I remember Tupac when he was alive, obviously, he was like, me and Janet was cool. We was cooler than a fan. Then after the movie wrap, she changed her number, and I ain't never have it no more. So, and maybe she changed it because maybe those feelings were there. She was like, nope, I'm married to this dude over here. She also talked about Jermaine Dupri being the love of her life, and she was ready to get married, settle down, have his babies. And she still was like, Jermaine is a good guy. He was a good guy then. I was into a lot of guys who had drug addictions. And I was like, was she talking about my boy Bobby Brown? Because I was still waiting for her to confirm that. Because y'all know that Bobby Brown in his book and his movie said that he was with Janet Jackson and they dated, which is not hard to believe because Bobby was that dude. Don't get it twisted. And said that he wasn't the right pedigree for Joe Jackson. And this was before Janet took control, and then she got Jermaine Dupri. But she didn't talk about that. And I wanted her to talk about Bobby V. Brown, but she didn't. She talked about the Rolling Stone cover and how that's when she was trying to be a little more sexy. She talked about when she got out of her dad's house by getting married to James DeBarge. That was one of the reasons why she wanted to get married to him. And then she wanted to take over her own career and get in control of her life. So she didn't want to do Good Times or Fame, or she wasn't into, she didn't say anything about being Charlene on Different Strokes, but all of these things that her dad planned for her, and she wanted to take control. That's when she started working with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. She came out with Control, changed the game forever. She took control of herself, her career, her life. And a lot of you know her from Post Control, all you young people, but all the older people know her Dream Street and Young Love and all of those other songs. And of course, Penny on Good Times and Charlene on Different Strokes. And I think she was Chloe on Fame. She wasn't feeling it. She said she would come late, all of that. She didn't want to do it. That was something her father wanted to do. What else do I have on here? Oh, and she talked about how Michael Jackson, her brother, started acting funny. And then the comparison that, even when they were interviewing her, they would always ask about Michael. And the people that he had around him caused a wedge between him and his family, and they used to be tight. Randy was on there. She's tight with Randy. My boy Tito. I love me some Tito. I love how he's talked. He just a down home regular dude, and so is Randy. And I love them on there. But I'm probably the only one that's going to say this, but I would like to see Janet Jackson and Jermaine Dupri get back together. Some are speculating that they already are dating or seeing each other or in close contact. But I would love, because I never saw a smile on her face that bright since or before Jermaine Dupri. Because she was like, she was ready. She would have as many babies as he wanted to have. She would settle down. He cheated on her. He didn't have time for her. She wanted more time, and she wanted to spend, be in close proximity with Jermaine Dupri. And JD was sowing his wild oats because he said all the women were attracted to him because he had Janet. So of course, he was like, people were probably like, well, Kim, what's going on with him? Let me find out. And then Jermaine's flesh took over and he was finding out. All right. So enough about Janet Jackson's documentary. Let's go to who broke the internet this week. My girl, Riri. Come here, rude boy. Yes, Riri. Umbrella Riri. Fenty Beauty Riri. Savage Fenty. We know Rihanna. We love Rihanna. That is my girl. I love me some Rihanna. She is the definition of a boss queen. She makes her own rules. She follows her own rules. She lives her life how she wants to live it, and she don't care what people think. Now, many folks are saying congratulations on the bundle of joy to Rihanna, and they're leaving out A$AP Rocky. They like scribbling him out, blocking him out, blotching him out, and just showing Rihanna's beautiful pregnancy pictures with all the jewels and her pink coat, and she has her stomach, showing, and they're trying to block out A$AP Rocky. Now, a lot of people don't like him. They like, of all the people she's been with and could have got pregnant with, she going to choose this dude. But she looked happy and at peace, and he looked like he was happy and at peace, and he looked like he loved him some Rihanna. And they got a good thing going on. And she said she's been reportedly saying that he's going to make an excellent father. Now, he probably will. We don't know their love. So I don't judge people's love like they shouldn't be with him. Jermaine Jackson, Lord. Jermaine Dupri shouldn't be with Janet Jackson. Beyonce shouldn't be with Jay-Z. And Rihanna shouldn't be with A$AP Rocky. And a lot of people don't fool with A$AP Rocky because he's a colorist, some say. Or he has been known or printed to say, talk about dark-skinned women and all of that. And Rihanna, maybe he changed. Maybe she influenced him. Maybe he thinks differently now. I don't know. But what I do know is Rihanna is having a baby and A$AP Rocky is the deity. That's what I do know. And congratulations to them both. She had to choose. He had to choose. So we'll see. But I'm happy for her. And she looks beautiful and she looks happy. It was speculation prior to that. And she came out with it. The photographer came out with the pictures and she followed. So she is, in fact, pregnant. What else happened? Black History Month started this week. But I'm Black History. If you're watching, you're Black History, right? Black history is 365 days. Black history is American history. But we do have a month, or some like to acknowledge that we do have a month, but Black folks know we got forever. We are Black history walking in living color. Black history started in 1946. It was Black History Week, and it turned into Black History Month. The reason why it's in the month of February, because Lincoln freed the slaves, and abolitionist Frederick Douglass's birthday is in February. So that's why they changed it to Black History Month, and that's why they have it in February. Some say that Black History Month is the shortest month of the year. February is, and that's why they have it. And the funny meme that's going to happen is Bobby Brown and Whitney like, Black History Month, we don't need a month. It should be longer than a month. Y'all know that whole meme. If you don't know the meme, Google Black History Month, Bobby and Whitney, and you'll see it. So everybody was posting that. My daughter posted it. I reposted it. Bobby and Whitney was in Bobby and Whitney heyday doing that. So people like to say that, I just want to make sure something real quick, just to check. Well, let me change it. I said 1946 and I knew I was wrong. It was 1916. So Black History Month was a brainchild of the famous historian Carter G. Woodson in 1915. Woodson created Black History Month to celebrate the accomplishments of Black people and the contribution. And also they made it in February because of Lincoln freeing the slaves and Frederick Douglass being a social justice and abolitionist. That's what I meant. So it was between 1915 and 1916. When I said 1946, I was like, that ain't right. But I likes to check my facts. All right, so happy Black History Month, everybody. And it's also the month of love, but we'll talk about Valentine's Day as we go into the month for that particular week. Well, Ari Lennox, my girl Ari Lennox, Pressure went #1, applying that pressure. I love me some Ari Lennox. Jermaine Dupri was a producer along with Michael Michael Cox, I should say. And Pressure hit #1. And I think it hit #1 because Jermaine Dupri is reposting people using it, getting the word out, talking about it. He's really proud of the song. I love Ari Lennox. I'm just trying to pull this up. I love Ari Lennox. I love how down and how regular and how funny and how classy and how sweet and how quirky. I love me some Ari Lennox. Let me try to find it. So it made adult R&B airplay for this month, the week of February 5th. It's #1 Pressure for adult R&B airplay. Let's see. Yep. Congratulations, Ari. We love the song. We are applying that pressure. Yes. All right. Also this week, make sure you check out my podcast, Shine with Kendell and Lenice. We talked about self-forgiveness. My guest was Rolanda St. Felix. So wherever you get your podcast, make sure you listen. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Audio. Make sure you check out my podcast, Shine with Kendell and Lenice. This week's episode was great. It was about self-forgiveness. People always talking about forgiveness is for you, not for them. Make sure you forgive them so in turn you feel better. But what about forgiving yourself, y'all? It's time to start forgiving yourself for whatever it is that you feel like you need to be forgiven for, or you don't even know. Make sure you forgive yourself. And if you need some help, listen to the podcast, and that's what we're talking about. So I'm doing this is the second episode of the Weekly Voice with me, Kendell and Lenice. So I started last week doing the word of the week, and I want to continue with that. I started in the beginning of the show last week. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put it. I might take it back to the beginning of the show. But the word of the week, I want you to expand and expound your diction. I want you to be able to have conversations, use a different word, insert here, new words to add to your vocabulary. Whether you use them at work, for play, online, or just in your heart, a new word and just kind of spice it in. Now, this word may sound familiar. The word is opine. Now you might be like, opine and talking about a tree, talking about what? It's to express your opinion. So opine is expressing your opinion. Like the authors opine that writers should make $1 million. That's their opinion. So it's one's opinion, the expression of opinion. The word is opine, O-P-I-N-E, opine. That is your word for this week. Make sure you use it in a sentence. Make sure you add that to your vocabulary. And I want to end with "You told Harpo to beat me." Let's talk about the color purple. The color purple is coming back as a musical. Oprah is right there at the helm once again. So people were posting their videos like, hey, I was holding on to this. I'm going to be in the new color purple. So y'all, guess who's playing Suge Avery? Coming down that church. God is trying to tell you something right now. Taraji is playing Suge Avery. And I think because she just did the Annie live, and she played an amazing, job. She did an amazing job in that. Oprah might have been looking at her, or maybe she was projected to get this role even before that. Maybe not, but she is going to be Suge Avery. And then we have Tasia, you changed, Tasia. Fantasia is going to be Celie. And y'all remember when Oprah did Color Purple as a musical before, Tasia was in it. She was a younger Tasia. She had just kind of started in the business, but now she is seasoned. She's a singer. She's a mom, three times over. She got her grown woman weight on her because she just had a baby. She's married to Kendell, not to be mistaken with Kendell, but she showed her video and her excitement of getting the role. And yes, she did have to audition. And you have Danielle Brooks from Orange is the New Black. She is playing Sophia. So it was really cute on her Instagram. She was talking, and I guess she was waiting for the person that was going to interview her to start. And Oprah popped up on the screen and she started crying. And of course, Oprah was Sophia, and she's now reprising the role, Danielle Brooks, as Sophia. So of course, Oprah had to, say, hey, you taking the helm, you're wearing my crown, and just really celebrating that. So that was a good moment. And Halle Berry, excuse me. Y'all know from Chloe and Halle on Grownish, but musicians in their own right, doing amazing work. And now she's going to be Ariel in The Little Mermaid. She got the job as Nettie. I love that for her. So they are going to be doing this Color Purple musical, y'all. So drop in the comments if you want to go see it. And are you out and about, like you were pre-COVID? Are you against going to a musical? What's the deal? What's going on? So that is the news for the week. Everything that's been going on that I can get in this time period for the Weekly Voice, I want to give it to you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is episode 2, so I'm just starting each show. Hopefully we'll get better and better and better as you and I become friends. But this is the Weekly Voice with Kendell and Lenice. Remember, you are a star, so don't allow anyone to dim your shine. I just want you all to know that you are enough. And if you are in the midst of a breakdown, or you're sad all the time, or you feel depressed or anxious, you're suffering, please seek help. And I just want everybody to know, from me to you, that I do care. And there are people who care and love you, and know that you are not alone in this world. Even if you feel like you're alone, please don't be by yourself. Seek help. Go to someone's house. Go to a restaurant. Do something to try to get out of your funk. And I just want you to know that it's not going to last always. And sometimes people don't even want to look forward to tomorrow because they think tomorrow is just going to be just the same. But God can turn it around, and your life can change in a split second. So I just want you just to hold on a little bit longer. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Weekly Voice. This is Kendell and Lenice. God bless. Don't forget to follow me on all social media platforms at Kendell and Lenice. Also, subscribe to this YouTube channel and share and tell a friend. Don't be stingy. God bless y'all. Peace. I'm looking at the time because I got a life coaching client right now. Oh, yeah, I got a life coaching client right now. If you're interested in a free consultation, visit me at livingtruelivingyou.com. Ta-ta for now. God bless.